I met in all the close green ways, while walking with my line and rod, the wealthy miller's mealy face, like the moon in an ivy tod. He looked so jolly and so good while fishing in the Mildam water. I laughed to see him as he stood, and dreamt not of the miller's daughter. I see the wealthy miller yet, his double chin, his portly size, and who that knew him could forget the busy wrinkles round his eyes, the slow wise smile that round about his dusty forehead drilly curled, seemed half within and half without, and full of dealings with the world. In yonder chair I see him sit, 3 fingers round the old silver cup. I see his grey eyes twinkle yet at his own jest, grey eyes lit up with summer lightnings of a soul so full of summer warmth, so glad, so healthy, sound, and clear and whole, his memory scarce can make me sad. Yet fill my glass, give me one kiss, my own sweet Alice, we must die. There's somewhat in this world amiss, shall be unriddled by and by. There's somewhat flows to us in life, but more is taken quite away. Pray, Alice, pray, my darling wife, that we may die the selfsame day. Have I not found a happy earth? I less should breathe a thought of pain. Would God renew me from my birth? I'd almost live my life again. So sweet it seems with thee to walk, and once again to woo thee mine. It seems in after dinner talk across the walnuts and the wine, to be the long and listless boy, late left, an orphan of the squire. Where is this old mansion mounted high, looks down upon the village spire? And even here, where I and you have lived and loved alone so long, each morn my sleep was broken through by some wild skylark's matin song, and oft I heard the tender dove in fairy woodlands making moan. But ere I saw your eyes, my love, I had no motion of my own, for scarce my life with fancy played, before I dreamed that pleasant dream, still hither, thither, idly swayed, like those long mosses in the stream. Or from the bridge I lean to hear the mill dam rushing down with noise, and see the minnows everywhere in crystal eddies glance and poise, the tall flag flowers when they sprung. Below the range of stepping stones are those 3 chestnuts near that hung, and masses thick with milky cones. But Alice, what an hour was that, when after roving in the woods, 'twas April then, I came and sat below the chestnuts when their buds were glistening to the breezy blue, and on the slope an absent fool I cast me down, nor thoughts of you, but angled in the higher pool a love song I had somewhere read, an echo from a measured strain beat time to nothing in my head. From some odd corner of the brain it haunted me the morning long, with weary sameness in the rhymes, the phantom of a silent song that went and came 1,000 times. Then leapt a trout in lazy mood. I watched the little circles die. They pass into the level flood, and there a vision caught my eye, the reflex of a beauteous form, a glowing arm, a gleaming neck, as when a sunbeam wavers warm within the dark and dimpled beck. For you remember you had set that morning on the casement's edge a long green box, a mignonette, and you were leaning from the ledge, and when I raised my eyes above, they met with 2 so full and bright, such eyes I swear to you, my love, that these have never lost their light. I loved, and love dispelled the fear that I should die an early death, for love possessed the atmosphere and filled the breast with purer breath. My mother thought, what ails the boy? For I was altered, and began to move about the house with joy, and with certain step of man. I loved the brimming wave that swarmed through quiet meadows round the mill, the sleepy pool above the dam, the pool beneath it never still, the meal sacks on the whitened floor, the dark round of the dripping wheel, the very air about the door, made misty with the floating meal, and often ramblings on the wold, when April nights began to blow, and April crescent glimmered cold. I saw the village lights below. I knew your taper far away, and full at heart of trembling hope. From off the wold I came and lay upon the freshly flowered slope. The deep brook groaned beneath the mill, and by that lamp I thought she sits. The white chalky quarry from the hill gleamed to the flying moon by fits. Oh, that I were beside her now! Oh, will she answer if I call? Oh, would she give me vow for vow? Sweet Alice, if I told her all. Sometimes I saw you sit and spin, and in the pauses of the wind, sometimes I heard you sing within, sometimes your shadow crossed the blind. At last you rose and moved the light, and the long shadow of the chair flitted across into the night, and all the casement darkened there. But when at last I dared to speak, the lanes, you know, were white with May. Your ripe lips moved not, but your cheek flushed like the coming of the day. And so it was, half sly, half shy, you would and would not, little one, though I pleaded tenderly, and you and I were all alone, and slowly was my mother brought to yield consent to my desire. She wished me happy, but she thought I might have looked a little higher, and I was young, too young to wed. Yet must I love her for your sake. Go fetch your Alice here, she said. Her eyelid quivered as she spake, and down I went to fetch my bride. But Alice, you were ill at ease. This dress and that by turns you tried, too fearful that you should not please. I loved you better for your fears. I knew you could not look but well, and dews that would have fallen in tears I kissed away before they fell. I watched the little flutterings, the doubt my mother would not see. She spoke at large of many things, and at the last she spoke of me, and turning looked upon your face, as near this door you sat apart, and rose, and with a silent grace, approaching pressed you heart to heart. Ah, well, but sing the foolish song I gave you, Alice, on the day when arm in arm we went along, a pensive pair, and you were gay, joyous, with bridal flowers, that I may seem, as in the nights of old, to lie beside the mill wheel in the stream, while those full chestnuts whisper by. It is the miller's daughter, and she is grown so dear, that I would be the jewel that trembles at her ear. For hid in ringlets day and night, I'd touch her neck so warm and white, and I would be the girdle about her dainty, dainty waist, and her heart would beat against me, in sorrow and in rest, and I should know, if it beat right, I'd clasp it round, so close and tight, and I would be the necklace, and all day long to fall and rise upon her balmy bosom, with her laughter or her sighs, and I would lie so light, I scarce should be unclasped at night, a trifle sweet, which true love spells. True love interprets right alone, his light upon the letter dwells, for all the spirit is his own. So if I waste words now in truth, ye must blame love. His early rage had force to make me rhyme in youth, and makes me talk too much in age. And now those vivid hours are gone, like mine own life to me thou art, or past and present, wound in one, to make a garland for the heart. So sing that other song I made, half angered with my happy lot, the day when in the chestnut shade I found the blue forget-me-not. Love that hath us in the net, can he pass and we forget? Many suns arise and set, many a chance the years beget. Love the gift, is love the debt. Even so, love is hurt with jar and fret, love is made of vague regret. Eyes with idle tears are wet, idle habit links us yet. What is love, for we forget? Ah, no, no. Look through mine eyes with thine, true wife. Round my true heart thine arms entwine. My other dearer in life, look through my very soul with thine, untouched with any shade of years. May those kind eyes forever dwell. They have not shed a many tears. Dear eyes, since first I knew them well, yet tears they shed, they had their part of sorrow, for when time was ripe, the still affection of the heart became an outward breathing type. Into that stillness passed again, and I left a want unknown before, although the loss that brought us pain, that loss but made us love the more. With farther lookings on, the kiss, the woven arms seem but to be weak symbols of the settled bliss, the comfort I have found in thee. But that God bless thee, dear, who wrought two spirits to one equal mind, with blessings beyond hope or thought, with blessings which no words can find. Arise and let us wander forth to yon old mill across the wolds, for look, the sunset south and north winds all the vale in rosy folds, and fires your narrow casement glass, touching the sullen pool below. On the chalk hill the bearded grass is dry and dewless. Let's go. And so there's some variation, but there's a missing stanza. Sometimes I whistled in the wind, sometimes I angled thought and deed, torpid as swallows left behind that winter 'neath the floating weed, at will to wander every way, from brook to brook my soul delight, as lithe eels over meadows gray, and oft shift their glimmering pool by night. And was also given the variation. I loved from far off the bridge to hear the rushing sound the water made, and see the fish that everywhere in the back current glanced and played. Low down the tall flag flower that sprung beside the noisy stepping stones, and the massed chestnut boughs that hung thick-studded over with white cones. And another stanza that was not. How dear to me in youth, my love, was everything about the mill, the black and silent pool above, the pool beneath that never stood still, the meal sacks on the whitened floor, the dark round of the dripping wheel, the very air about the door, and, like before, made misty with the floating meal. And another. Remember you that pleasant day when roving in the woods, 'twas April then, I came and lay beneath those gummy chestnut bud that glistened in the April blue. Upon the slope so smooth and cool I lay and never thought of you, but angled in the deep mill pool. And another variation from a part. A water rat from off the bank plunged in the stream with idle care. Down looking through the sedges rank, I saw your troubled image there. Upon the rank and dimpled beck it wandered like a floating light, a full fair form, a warm white neck, and two white arms, how rosy white. And another variation that was not included. If you remember, I'm different parts with all this, but if you remember, you had set upon the narrow casement edge a long green box of mignonette, and you were leaning from the ledge. I raised my eyes at once above, they met two eyes so blue and bright, such eyes I swear to you, my love, that they have never lost their light. After this stanza and then another after that. That slope beneath the chestnut tall is wooed with choicest breaths of air. Methinks I could tell you all, the cowslips and the kingcups there, each coltsfoot down the grassy bent, whose round leaves hold the gathered shower, each quaintly folded cuckoo pint, and silver pally cuckoo flower. And another variant of a part. And rambling on the eastern wold, when through the showery April nights their hueless crescent glimmered cold from all the other village lights, I knew your taper far away. My heart was full of trembling hope. Down from the wold I came and lay upon the dewy swarded slope. And something I should have said much earlier in this program is, yes, the loss of people, right? But you don't want to. You should want your spouse to live to do more good deeds, or whatever good in life they are accomplishing, The white chalky quarry from the hill upon the broken ripple gleamed. I murmured lowly, sitting still, while round my feet the eddy streamed. Oh, that I were the wreath that she wreathes, the mirror where her sigh she feeds, the song she sings, the air she breathes, the letters of the books she reads. And another variation of a part. I loved when I dared to speak my love, the lanes were white with May, your ripe lips moved not, but your cheek flushed like the coming of the day. And a variation of a part. Two other precious drops that ready stood, he ere they fell kissed. And a part that was not included later. Remember you, the clear moonlight that whitened all the eastern ridge, when over the water, dancing white, I stepped upon the old mill bridge. I heard you whisper from above, a lute-toned whisper, I am here. I murmured, speak again, my love. The stream is loud, I cannot hear. I heard, as I have seemed to hear, when all the under air was still, the low voice of the glad new year call to the freshly flowered hill. I heard, as I have often heard, the nightingale in leafy woods call to its mate when nothing stirred to left or right but falling floods. And another part that was not included. Come, sing to me the song I made you on our marriage day, when arm in arm we went along half tearfully, and you were gay, joyous, with brooch and ring, for I shall seem, the while you sing that song to hear, the mill wheel turning in the stream, and the green chestnut whisper near. And another part from a part. I wish I were her earring, ambushed in auburn ringlets sleek, so my shadow tremble over her downy cheek, hid in her hair all day and night, touching her neck so warm and white. I wish I were her girdle, buckled about her dainty waist, that her heart might beat against mine in sorrow and in rest. I should know well if it beat right.